my gorgeous angels. Welcome back to our channel and welcome back to another reading. Today is going to be a shorter one, but not less fun or less nice. We're going to be addressing what are the unexpected changes that you can expect over the next 2 months. So what are the blessings coming in? What things can you look forward to? What are the things that are about to make you smile or just filled with joy in that sense? So, without further ado, you do have 3 piles that you can choose from. Feel free to choose more than one if you feel drawn to. You have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So I'll see you in your reading. See you soon. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 1. You chose yourself this beautiful crystal, this angel aura quartz. I love it. It's very, very pretty. It reflects different colors as you see it with the light. But essentially, I would like to speak a little bit about it. I think that maybe you can find interesting, or maybe you can find some key factors that, especially if you could potentially work with this particular crystal. Maybe there are some things, some properties that it brings that maybe you lack at this particular moment in time. One of the things that this crystal might bring, or if you work with it, that it might bring you is uplifting energy or feeling more energetic, but also being blue and all about communication with, the throat chakra. I know that angel aura quartz is also associated with the crown. However, being blue and quite associated that color with the throat chakra, there might be some form of communication that you are wanting. So I don't know if you are asking your guides and your angels, God, the universe, to give you some form of signs, especially if we are on the right path, what I could do about the situation, or how could I maybe communicate a little bit more openly with my spirit guides, or maybe if you are in this particular art of divination, whatever divination you do, whether it is a psychic or mediunic or tarot or oracle cards or astrology or anything that would rely on your intuition. Also, there might be a wanting to fortify that communication with our realms, right? Getting this sense of peace, this sense of serenity, this uplifting energy, this enlightenment, this sense of power as well. So there might be something within this crystal that is important, or maybe the color blue is just something that you resonate essentially a lot with. I would like to say, though, there's a lot about it. It seems like there is a sense of you as well starting to showing up a little bit differently in a good way. Maybe some colors that you kept hidden, maybe they start coming out in that sense, which is great, which is lovely at the end of the day. Let's see what your spirit guides want you to bring. Oh, that's interesting. Very similar color palettes to the crystal as well. So if you put it here, it kind of just seems part of that particular current. You get this activated earth card with power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. So when it comes to what is coming towards you, I believe that there will be some form of opportunities here for us to travel, for you to travel, if this is something that you're looking for, but also for you to be at the right place at the right time. I want to know with tarot what this is about, but it seems very ethereal. It seems very magical. I don't know if you have some form of trip planned, or if you would like to travel over the next couple of months to 3 months to 4 months, but it seems like the places that you are gonna visit might hold a special meaning for you, or might be places of either worship, or might be places where you find you resonate a lot with, or where messages can flow through you a little bit more easily. And this doesn't have to do just with traveling. It could be you finding a place where you can be grounded. It maybe you find an area of your house that you just kind of set together in a beautiful way, and you just find that your place of meditation or feeling more grounded is just incredibly easy in that particular place. Or maybe you find some places around your city or around your house where you just feel extremely connected with things all together. But every time I see this card, I remember or I think about traveling, right? It looks like Stone Age. I believe it is supposed to be a representation here of Stone Age. If not, I don't know, but I do believe it's Stone Age. Nonetheless, I do believe that for you in specific, traveling is within the cards, but it would be a traveling that is not really for a chaotic sense of traveling where I have to have this time to do this and do that. Now, I think it's going to feel very freeing, and I think it's going to feel very in tune with a sense of serenity and harmony. And I do believe that you can take so many senses of power and enlightenment for the places that you're going to be visiting or traveling to. But bear in mind, traveling doesn't have to be by plane. It could be something that you do that feels close to home. But even so, the place is magical and just makes you feel more connected. Imagine that you just moved to a specific city, or maybe you're moving as well to a place where you feel it resonates more with you. But imagine that you're moving to a specific city or just moved to a particular place, or just found out that there is such a gorgeous forest or garden not very far away from where you are. Maybe you find yourself exploring a little bit more, but trust that you're going to be at the right place at the right time also when it comes to some things. Spirit guardians and ancestors, can you tell us a little bit more of what is coming towards our gorgeous pile number 1 when it comes to blessings ahead? Wisdom with number 22. 22 resonates with you, maybe? Spirit guardians and ancestors. What would you like to... Yeah, I do believe that this this pile that I have here is definitely a pile of some form of some form of divination. I don't know what you're learning or trying to learn, or something that maybe you feel deeply in tune with. I do believe that there is something very mediunic or psychic about you that is very strong within this particular reading. And I maybe for those who are searching for a sense of serenity, to be able to give a little bit more wings to your abilities, or someone who would like to get more comfortable with that, I do believe that the universe or your spirit guides, it's going to place you at the right place at the right time in specific places where you just feel you can either receive messages more easily or just get into that place of serenity in an easier manner in order to be able to receive or to communicate more effectively with whatever beings you are resonating with. It can even be that right now you start seeing, for instance, some form of deity that you resonate incredibly with, and you think, oh, I think like every time I open an app or I open a book or I get myself daydreaming, I just think about this particular deity. I would like to, work with them or explore a little bit more how I can communicate with them or take their help when it comes to different things in life. It seems like there is some form of communication here that is going to be very easy for you to manage, and especially in a particular place or at the particular time. It seems like you're going to be exactly where you need to be. We do have Leo, Virgo, and Pisces as zodiac signs that can be relevant, but we do have an important thing here when it comes to fire. I don't know if fire signs are important for you in any way, shape, or form, or if there is some form of inspiration here that is coming from something that you visit, or a place that you find yourself in, or a place that you are. Maybe this place that they're talking about is not even a physical one. Maybe it's an ethereal one or a mind one, right? Where I found myself going through a little bit of a tough time or a very tough time. I faced so many tough challenges. And it seems like one of the things that is coming towards you is a lot of wisdom and a lot of strength when it comes to how to go around it or battling that more effectively. But when it comes to communication here, you know, and trusting where you're led, it seems like there is people on the other side that are going to help you out when it comes to what you're trying to achieve or where you want to go. What is coming for our gorgeous piles number? Because what we have here is 4, right? 22. Okay, 22 is a master number, quite enlightening as well, but it would equal to a 4. So we do have stability towards, you know, a 10, which is a new beginning, and we do have a partnership. So I want to know what this is, or duality. Spirit guardians and ancestors. What is coming to our gorgeous pile number 2s? What blessings can they expect? Success, overcoming obstacles, fast movement, transition, or you're moving somewhere. Traveling, yeah, clarity, truth, communication, a breakthrough. Stability, self-esteem, abundance, especially when it comes to your finances. Very individualistic card, but definitely a card here that transpires you're confident during a particular time. You're very happy there. This is a very happy reading, but at this particular moment, if we are here, we're struggling to see a victory. We're struggling to see something, because look at the 5 of Swords and the 5 and the 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is such a victorious energy, whereas the 5 of Swords is one of defeat, right? Or accepting defeat, tension, frustration, delay. There's something that you're trying to do, but maybe you're finding yourself in difficult positions or difficult places, and maybe that's why this card is here. Maybe for some of you, this is definitely traveling and going to places that are going to open your mind or giving you inspiring ideas, especially for you to maybe monetize off, to be fair. But for some of you, I believe that is for you to trusting that some of the trials or turbulations that some of you have been going through, and I'm not going to say all, some of them are tough in themselves, right? 5 of Swords is not an easy energy to be in, but some of these trials and tribulations are going to make you come out of it very, very strong, very, very different, in a very, very lovely energy. For some of you, a victory is only acknowledged after something that happens along this two months here. Spirit guardians and ancestors, what is this about? Because we have you reaching a point of success, moving on from something. Maybe this was a breakup. For some of you, we feel defeated, we feel very down. But there's so much inspiration coming towards you. In a sense of being able to look fondly upon some stuff, but being so happy about your own individuality at the same time. What a growth. Yeah, definitely. Very positive. There's something here that you want to conquer. There's something here that you want to open yourself to. The sun is a great omen in tarot. It is a great omen when it comes to anything, is you shining your light at the end of the day. There might be some form of relationship here or partnership. At the end of the day, we do have communication. For some of you, we might be shining with somebody. For others, I think that there is a shining individually. Of course, that we can be shining within a partnership, but Venus would translate some form of relationship here for some of you. But yeah, there is some others that are going to be shining by themselves. Both of them definitely quite joyful. There's definitely change coming your way. That is going to feel very lucky go. It's going to feel very expansive. It's going to feel very harmonious. But it really does depend on what you're trying to achieve. Because having Chariot here, anyone watching this particular pile knows what they want, or knows what they are wanting at this particular time. Whether that's financial, whether that's romantic. One of you are going to be thriving individually. Others of you are going to build up the proper self-esteem in order to open up to new ventures when it comes to relationships. I wouldn't say that this is someone from the past. I would say that this is somebody that shows up for those for which this is about love. Someone that shows up and it feels new, it feels fresh, because we're coming out of something, right? We're leaving something behind, especially with the Chariot. And with maybe this person, through your travels, through your going around, is for you to trust where you are, and really understanding that everything around this 2 months, 3 months period is going to be happening for a reason. Even if it feels a little bit like a challenge or a tribulation, it feels like it's bound to teach you something. It's bound to make you stronger. It feels very happy, to be fair. Chariot can be chaotic, especially when it comes to overcoming energies, or when it comes to overcoming challenges. However, having Chariot here does mean that you're being supported throughout all obstacles, and actually those obstacles are going to just feel like pebbles in the road over the next 2 to 3 months. And then a breakthrough, a lovely breakthrough, comes through, both in relationships and both in your own individuality. We're opening a new chapter, and it's great. It feels very personal. Of course, it can be externalized to other people, but it feels personal for the majority of you. Remember that Venus, it is a planet of partnerships, but it's also a very luxurious planet. You do have two very beautiful benefics here, Jupiter and Venus, with love and luck. But it seems like you had to shine a little bit by yourself, or learn how to shine by yourself, so you can shine with other people before. Great work, Pile 1. Lovely. Definitely beautiful next 3 months coming towards you. Everything feels extremely positive, even a bit sometimes aloof, which is great. I think you have been, this is difficult energy. It's very difficult. I'd rather you being a little bit aloof than just drowning pessimism and negativity. Love you very much, pile number 1. If you chose any other piles, please stick around. I'll see you there. If not, this is where I'm gonna love you and leave you. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye! Hello, hello, my gorgeous pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose this beautiful rose quartz. I would like to talk about it first, because I think that if you pick this crystal, and if you are feeling drawn to it, maybe there are some properties that this crystal has that you could crave, or that could potentially be something that you are needing at this particular time. So usually rose quartz is a very loving crystal, right? It's the crystal of love, unconditional love, self-love, attracting love of other people even. It's a very comforting crystal, also one to attract friends. But essentially there's a very big care and a very big kindness to this particular crystal. Look at it. It's very soothing, right? It's very calm. It's very serene. So maybe there's something about it that you would like to work with. When it comes to the card that you got for the introduction for a reading, you do have double mission with light worker, starseed, serving the world by being you. Lovely. Definitely very ethereal looking card. Love that for you. I do believe that double mission might already have some form of meaning. I do believe that the blessings that you might be having during the next 2 to 3 months might be things that are a little bit entirely different from each other. Maybe there is one in love and one in money, or one in friends and one in money. I don't know, but we're going to be exploring that. But I think your spirit guides really want you to know how special you are. There's definitely quite a lot of kindness to a light worker. There's definitely a sense that you see the world maybe even quite more different than your peers. Maybe you see the world a little bit different than your family and your friends. There's definitely some uncomfortability about how things might be, or are, to be honest, at this particular moment in time in the world that with you might not resonate very, very well. I think you might feel things very, very deeply. Of course, that this can be both a blessing and a curse. And I do believe that maybe at this particular moment in time, or maybe in the recent past, might have been very difficult to stay afloat, right? Here is very ethereal and nice, right? It's almost like a daydreaming. Here is more night. Maybe it has been difficult to kind of separate, you know, your dreams or something that you really paint or would like from reality, you know, and sometimes it's difficult, right? When it comes to reality, doesn't really, you can have the strength or the drive to pursue something, but it seems like it might feel quite there when it comes to something that I'm manifesting, but then there's always these delays and having to see things very black and white when I want to see things in technicolor can be quite difficult. Nonetheless, let's see what you're gonna get. I would like to take some initial energies here. You can be a fire sign, you don't have to be. All right. But there's something here about you that shines very brightly for people who are like-minded. Spirit guides and ancestors. What is coming towards pile number 2? What are the blessings that are coming towards pile number 2? Courage. And again, we have Libra. Libra is very decisional, very observational. What else? Success. Wow. Another card of Libra. Wholeness. Look at that. And you have focus. Okay, so gorgeous pile number, I'm gonna put it here. Gorgeous pile number 2. We do have courage, success, and wholeness. Okay, there's something here that is very important. You can also be an air sign. There's quite a lot of air signs. We do have Libra, Aquarius. We do have Sag here, however. Anyhow, there's something here, I believe, and especially when it comes to serve the world by being you. There might be some form of courage here for you to do something. I don't know if you are going through a little bit of a time where you are questioning some things about yourself or questioning the career that you chose, the companies that you have. I don't know if you are starting to become a person that resonates maybe less with something around them at the end of the day. And maybe here with a dagger, there might have to be some form of thing when it comes to cutting something off. Or maybe you went through a period of time where you had to cut something off in order to reach a sense of stability there. When it comes to the 1 and the 3, which is equal to a 4. Maybe there was some sort of security or stability, or when it comes to your sense of home or sense of foundation, that you maybe had to cut. Maybe you understood and you tried to see it through lenses, right? Libras are very kind, but you know, when it comes to Libra and when it comes to tarot, you have a little bit of a more decisional and more practical energy when it comes to right, wrong, yes, no, black, white. So I don't know if for some of you had to cut something out, or if you have the courage or had to have the courage to face either being stabbed in the back, even, or maybe even when it comes to this particular dagger, to create some form of reality for yourself, right? Swords or daggers, when it comes to tarot, are creators of reality, but they are also the ones used to cut something out of one's life at the end of the day. So there might be something about this dagger that would indicate that whether you are creating your own reality, but this would have to be to come from a place of courage, because yeah, I think you're going to be asked to step up onto something. You're going to be asked to show something about yourself that not a lot of people could do or be able to do. At the end of the day, it comes from something that is quite unique to yourself, and that would just lead you into this sense of success and wholeness, you being very happy about the things that you do, but it would really have to come from a courage standpoint. What I think is going to happen over the next 2 to 3 months is that you're going to receive some form of opportunity or opportunities here when it comes to putting either yourself out there or to choose something. And I think that the choice that is made is going to come from a little bit of having to be a little bit strong, or having to be a little bit out there. Maybe it's not the safest thing to do, but maybe there's ways of making it feel a little bit safer, right? Imagine that for those of you who are looking for another career, maybe we don't have to kind of just drop out everything. I'm not a supporter of that, right? At the end of the day, we are in the 3D and we have to have our ends meet, unfortunately. But maybe, you know, if it is a possibility, going part-time and embracing other opportunity here that is bound to be quite successful, that will make you quite whole, right? And especially there with Aquarius, maybe even making you feel quite individual, and something that you have been focusing and that you would really like to explore in your own way. So I want to see with Tarot what is coming towards you, but this is an opportunity here for you to live your truth. Spirit guardians and ancestors, what are the blessings or unexpected changes coming towards pile number 2 over the next 2 months? Yeah. Gorgeous pile number 2. Look at this. Look at this. The devil, the star. We start with the Ace of Swords. We do have the star and the devil on the bottom of the deck. The devil is a restriction of some sort, right? It's like walking in a chain. Is being very tempted to do something. Is feeling like something could potentially be amazing. But there's always something that kind of restricts me from doing that. Whether that is some habits that are not very nice, whether it is the way that I perceive myself. I do believe that having the Nine of Swords here, it does come from a point or a standpoint of insecurity, of maybe being a little bit afraid of taking the reins of a particular situation, or just envisioning quite a lot of obstacles that, you know, with the Nine of Swords, sometimes some of them are not even there. Maybe, you know, they come from ways that we have been treated in the past, or maybe that we feel we might have failed in the past, and kind of we're just projecting onto things. Nonetheless, that wish fulfillment, that sense of faith, that sense of purpose, that sense of happiness is on the other side of you trying to take your chains away, or for trying to free yourself from chains here. Because what we have here with Tarot is definitely a breakthrough or an opportunity, something, a truth, communication, something that comes to you when it comes to you being the creator of something, right? For instance, oh, there's an opportunity here for me to do this. And you would have, it would be quite good when it comes to either building a family or when it comes to being quite well off, when it comes to this particular Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is a very wealthy type of energy. So any sort of blessing that could come to you in the next 2 to 3 months could be monetary, financial, very prosperous. But it comes from you having to embrace an opportunity, being courageous when it comes to embracing an opportunity. I don't know if that opportunity has to do with you transitioning from one place to another. I don't know if that opportunity has to do with you moving away from family, or moving away from what is known to you, or something that you feel wouldn't really align fully with some people. But this particular opportunity would bring you a lot of financial stability. But there is the need to manage my my stress with my ability to stay afloat. There's the Ten of Pentacles for our gorgeous pile too, please. Yeah, there's some form of wish fulfillment here for you. You will know what this is for you because this would make you feel extremely happy, extremely secure, extremely supported. But this, I would have to say, is financial in all sense. Spirit guardians and ancestors, what is the Six of Swords? Yeah, you would have to embark, you would have to take it on. You would have to take this opportunity on. And that will really come from a place of courage. I don't know why, but you would have to be, get outside of your comfort zone when it comes to something here. What does this Eight of Swords? Nine of Swords is the Nine of Swords. It is the stress and anxiety associating with it. It is the emotional conflict of, I want this so much, so much, but at the same time, I think I'll fail. At the same time, I think that this is going to be something that I'm not going to be able to do. I think this is something that people are not going to look very well or have some form of, you know, I don't know. It just feels like there is some form of emotional conflict here about how to get to a place, how to get to a goal. If you are worried with how people are going to perceive you, I'm not saying that this opportunity will not roll around again, but this would definitely be a great time for you to take it on. A great time for you to take it on. Given that we can manage what this is, just doing a transition, a swift transition, an easy transition. Spirit guardians and ancestors, what can you tell us about these blessings that are coming towards pile number 2? Maybe with that rose quartz, people haven't been very kind when it comes to the dreams that you have. And maybe that puts you in a position where you don't know if you should take it, if it's just in your mind. What is coming towards pile number 2? It seems like you're going to have an opportunity here to explore your creativity, to really do what you love, to really nurture something that you believe in, to really nurture something that for you means the world. All right, this could have to do with your passions. This could have to do with your sense of fun, but then again, your sense of creativity, especially with Leo there. But this is something that you would love to nurture. I'm not going to say that it's going to be super easy. Saturn is not that it's not easy, but it's just a planet that would demand some form of discipline, some form of almost like consistent or ritualistic way of approaching something, right? There is a work ethic that is gained. And when it comes to that, Saturn can be quite helpful, especially when it comes to giving you that the table of contents, that flow chart on how to reach a particular dream. But here with Saturn, I think you would have to jump through the fence. That's what it's trying to tell you. Your passions and your ability to nurture them and being creative are just on the other side of that fence. And at the moment, you would have to really, try and cut it off, if this is something that you would like. There's great stability, great wealth, great money to be made, great abundance, great security, great foundation to be had just around me being courageous enough to take on an opportunity here, to be myself, to do something that I love, to do something that I like. It's a very individualistic reading, but is one of making you feel something. This is definitely you tapping on something, on your mission, on your path, on what you would like to do. And there is an opportunity here for you to reach that. Just try and not feel that so much, or try to unchain yourself the best you can, or the more you can. It's sometimes very difficult. It's easier to speak rather than doing it. But it would be nice if you would at least try. You always have a safety net or try to have a safety net before taking any sort of step to maybe make you calmer. But we do have a great opportunity here for you to follow something that for you would be a wish fulfillment. So, yeah. Love you very much, pile number 2. If you chose another pile, I'll see you in your reading. If not, this is where I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a lovely day. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose this beautiful aquamarine. I love this crystal. I think she could be a little bit more bluer, but at the end of the day, she's pretty. She's pretty. At the end of the day, it was the one that was calling me in the store, so that's what we should go with always. But lovely. You chose this crystal, so I would like to tell you a little bit of what you could work with it for. So maybe there might be some points that might indicate what might come towards you over the next 2 to 3 months. It's a stone that you can work with to enhance your creativity, to enhance your clarity, your sense of abundance as well. Maybe even your happiness. It is a beautiful crystal, maybe also used for stress relief. And if you would be associated with some form of chakra, it would have to be the throat chakra, because it's a bluish color there. So when it comes to your card, the one that we have to see what might come towards you during the next 2 to 3 months, we have portal. We have this card that says doors are opening, you decide, rewards, or wild card. So we do have this woman walking into this beautiful door, right? It has those diamonds or quartz around there, but essentially we don't really know what's beyond it. It looks incredible, right? Especially with the colors. I would throw myself in there, no biggie. But she looks a bit not sure. She is not super sure. I think that her posture could indicate somebody who is a little bit reluctant, right? Because at the end of the day, all we see is potential, right? All we see is that color. And while it can be quite alluring and it can be quite enticing, we don't really know what's beyond, right? We don't really know what is beyond that particular veil of light. So it seems like essentially for you, group 3, there are opportunities arising. There are, doors that maybe you didn't see, or maybe opportunities that you didn't see coming, arising for you, maybe out of nowhere. And maybe you're going to be like this. You're going to be, is it time for me to open that door? Is it time for me to take that step? What if it doesn't work? What if I get caught up in the same old situation? Maybe some of the opportunities that might arise, despite the fact of feeling different or feeling maybe even similar, they end up being, I believe, good. All right, but it would be important for us to take a chance here, or really understanding how rewarding something can be. Let's see what are the things here. Spirit guides and ancestors, what are the blessings coming towards group 3 over the next 2 to 3 months? Thank you. Interesting. Okay, so during the next 2 to 3 months, what we have here is something that is, let me just see if it is. It's going to be something that has to do with, I believe, something that you're already doing. I think that this particular person that is walking, she is already within the good news that are coming for you, or the blessings, the unexpected changes that are about to make you feel happy. And especially because here in the memory, I kind of feel like there is an acknowledgement of how far I've come, or how far or how I had to perfect something, or for how long I have been planting some form of seeds here. Because there is this emphasis on a story that is already ongoing. right? And especially here with continuance, it seems like we keep on working on something that we believe in, right? We have the 7 there, the 8 there. So it seems like we're perfecting something or being strategic about something and gaining wisdom about something. And then we're reaping the rewards there with the 8. It seems like what comes is a direct reward, right? 8 is the number of karma as well. So it could literally be a direct reward of everything that you perfected, everything that you worked for, everything that you know you did in order to be in this particular position. I don't know if you are an entrepreneur. I don't know if you have been studying hard. I don't know if you have been applying for another type of job, or if you have been trying to be there for somebody and you would like, something to kind of come out of that. I really do believe that despite the fact that at the moment I'm not feeling either career or love, I believe it could really be both. For some it's going to be one thing, maybe both things, and for some it's going to be another, but it would have to have a story. Whatever it is that is coming towards you, that is rising, it doesn't come and it's like, oh, I haven't seen that coming. No, you did, because you worked for it. You were there, you for a long time there with memory. You have been working on something, celebrating maybe small wins, celebrating, overcoming some sort of obstacles, going around some difficulties, because there is a continuation here of something that is in the past also. So it's past, present, and then we reach a point of a collaboration here. Agreement and continuation and communication. Sorry, we do have a 2 there and a 24. 6s are about heading into harmony, and even with the strawberries here, something that could potentially bring the love in is a very aphrodisiac fruit at the end of the day, or something that feels fresh, something that would involve you and another person. 6 is especially in tarot, are about harmony, are about serenity, are about heading into tranquility, even if we're coming from chaos, even if we know what we have been through with a person or in our individual pursuits, right? So you will receive some form of communication here about from another person or a company or institution about some form of agreement that I believe you're going to feel quite happy about. A new door for you is opening. So let's see what this is about, shall we? Spirit guides and ancestors, for our gorgeous pile number 3s, what is coming towards them here in the near future? What blessings are coming towards them in the near future? What is the blessing here? What are the blessings for pile number 3 that are coming towards them in the next 2 to 3 months? Wow, look at that. Pure happiness, 10 of Cups. Wow. For some of you, you're going to get married. For others of you, someone is going to pop the question. All right. To be honest, what else? One more. Yeah. Because this is something that we know it exists. You understand what I'm saying? It is already ongoing. A relationship would be ongoing. Correct? Or maybe I have been there for, we have been for each other through thick and thin. This person is somebody that I have some form of, memory books with, or somebody that I have some form of Instagram gallery with, or phone gallery with. And we seems like it's continuing, but something new arrives that comes from a communication. And coming from the 10 of Cups to the Hierophant, it might be some form of deepening of it, right? Especially in the eyes of quote-unquote an institution. It doesn't have to be a church, all right? It doesn't have to be that. Okay, Hierophant is a card of marriage, but it is also an energy. And marriage is different for every single couple out there at the end of the day. All right, and it seems like we are balancing waters. One thing that I see here in specific is that this has been something that I believe has been tricky, or you have been more stressed, or they have been more stressed, or there is a form of delay here. But to be honest with you, this can also be applied to people who are following their passion, who have been working hard on something that makes them feel like home and being really viewed or getting some form of recognition, especially when it comes from an institution. Something that had some form of timing, especially with temperance. Your spirit guides want you to know that what is coming to you comes in divine timing. It wasn't supposed to be earlier. It wasn't supposed to be later. It comes really when it has to come. Temperance here is important. Of course, it's a card of Sagittarius, but it is a card of calm, moderation, harmony, right? One foot in the earth, one foot in the water, really balancing those particular waters, right? The emotion and the practicality and the stability. This is a coming together of two people, whether in love for who is in a relationship and wanting this, and or in between you and a business partner, or a company that would like to work with you, or a promotion, someone recognizing you. But this particular memory is really for you to understand how far we've come. Understand how far you've come when it comes to all the tribulations that you went through, all the feeling defeated, all the frustration, the disappointment, the delay, how stressed I was, how sometimes empty I felt when it comes to situations or victories that just didn't really feel like a victory at the end of the day. You're coming very strong after. And even if there was a connection, something here was important. I think that some form of difficulty that we went through was relevant. Either it is for you to big yourself up, or for a connection to become whole, for a connection to become better, more respectful, feeling like at home with each other. Especially if this connection was something maybe we didn't really see eye to eye. Maybe one is very institution, the other one is more like a freeing type of love here. But there is a sense here of deepening a connection, and it had to be at this point, or deepening a connection with someone if this is about work. Could be both. Spirit guides and ancestors. Let's see what this Hierophant is for you. Spirit guides and ancestors. What is this Hierophant here? For our gorgeous pile number 3. Yeah, for some of you, it's career-wise. It does bring an indecision here, a choice. You know, you have there, you decide. Rewards, wild card, let's take a chance. But for some of you is marriage, all right? For some of you is marriage or deepening a connection. It could be one or the two. It could be really you being recognized and seen of something that you have been working on. Queen of Pentacles, definitely financially quite nice, right? Well off, really in her power, really stable, really calculated, really comfortable. But for others of you is a relationship, especially with the Four of Wands, a card of marriage, a card of deepening something. It doesn't have to be marriage. It could be that someone says, look, why don't I move where you are? If this is a long distance, for instance, why don't we go and live together? Would you be my girlfriend? Would you be my wife? Right? Or would you like to have a baby? Something like that. It has to do with some form of milestone that is important for connections. And regardless if you are not in a connection with this particular Queen of Pentacles, this would be a great milestone for you in something that you're trying to create and a recognition that you're trying to get, especially when it comes to your career. That is gorgeous. It's definitely something that is bound to make you very happy. I don't think that you're going to take long to decide, to be fair. All right, let's see a little bit more information. Spirit guardians and ancestors, what is coming towards our group number 3? What blessings or unexpected changes are coming to our group number 3 in the next 2 months? Very earthy energies. Very cute. There's definitely a lot of change here. I think that there is something that you were used to before that is going to change completely. Uranus is the planet of transformation, of change, unexpected change, big change. And I do know that you do have the world rebellion there, which maybe you do things a little bit differently and you're noticed, or maybe you're thinking on doing something a little bit differently, or maybe somebody just kind of chooses to pop a question and break free from a particular situation that you were facing or that you were in. Because whatever it is, this blessing that comes as something that was already present in your past, is present in your present. You're not just continuing this particular moment, and it's just kind of evolving, it's growing. And this does not mean that, of course, that this is something that is for us to choose right away without having to think a lot about it. They're asking you to focus on it, to, you do have that hourglass there. They want you to evaluate it to see if this is a good thing for you, right? Especially when it comes to Saturn and the moon being represented here, really understanding what are the restrictions, what kind of discipline would I have to bring in towards this particular new opportunity. And with the moon, how that makes me feel. And especially here with nurture and growth, there's definitely something that you have been putting in your work very much, almost like if it is your baby, right? Whether it is your relationship that you care so much and that you cherish so much, or something that you're trying to develop, or the work that you do, what you study for, what you go by, that it's going to have some form of change here. And we have to choose. But at the end of the day, you are the one with the sword in your hand, right? Like the Queen of Swords. You are the one who decides if you want to embark in this or not. They're saying that this is a great opportunity. They're saying for you to, of course, not really take a step without feeling comfortable with the step that you're giving, but there's definitely quite a lot of change that you're going to be extremely fond of coming towards your group 3, and I'm very, very happy for you. I don't know if you chose another pile. If so, I'll see you in that particular pile. If not, this is where I'm gonna love you and leave you. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye!